transition, has sex with them and has out-of-this-world orgasms. Professor Chris Benchholmer believes there is a rational explanation, and welcome to you both. This is utterly fascinating, and we should say, Stephanie, we're glad to have you here this morning because as you've been in this morning talking to us, last night you travelled out to the solar system. Where did you go and how did you get there?
My group, I call them Team Spirit, and we have a UFO, flying saucer.
Yeah. And we've got a photo, but no, it's not a photo.
It's a picture I drew.
This is a drawing that you've done, and this is the UFO that you went to.
Yeah, sure. We go off to planets within our own solar system, but also to way out into the solar system.
Do you go in mind or do you go in body?
In mind, because it happens when my physical body is asleep, but my spirit will then leave.
Could it be a dream? I mean, would that be what most people call dreaming?
A dream is a friendly way of letting you know what you've been doing without scaring you. Or that's what dreams really are. Yeah. Because people would be afraid to actually if they were face to face with, say, an alien.
So the different species. Let's talk about them. These different beings. You say that there are cat people. There are reptilians.
Yeah.
Are they all part of? They're not part of the same race. So these are separate.
No, they're very separate, but they do come from the solar system that they come from, which is within the Canis Major.
So that's where they originate.
Yeah, they're different planets within the Canis Major system.
So you, I assume, have seen life from other civilizations on other planets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how prolific is life in the universe?
When you look up at the stars at night, that's how prolific it is.
Who is Ian the Octopus Man?
Yeah, he's an octopus man. He stays quite close to me, sort of like a spirit, kind of boyfriend, but not really boyfriend. I don't call it boyfriend. Just a good spirit friend. And he happens to be from the octopus race. I mean, all of them indulge in insects, but particularly the cat people are extremely highly charged sexually, and it's part of our culture, the cat people culture.
So what do you make of this? You're not convinced, are you?
I'm not convinced, no. I mean, I think the viewers will let their own mind up about what they think about what we just heard. The obvious question is, where's there any kind of external proof for any of this? I mean, and there's lots of claims being made about various kinds of expeditions to the solar system and elsewhere in the universe, but it's all happening in Stephanie's head, basically, as she admits herself. Now, I mean, there is this thing about the orgasms. That's clearly a very physical event, which we wouldn't choose to, but one could actually observe that. But again, there are alternative explanations. There's a disorder known as persistent genital arousal disorder. It's quite
rare to interview someone on here with that.
Absolutely. And very often, usually people kind of don't find it very enjoyable. Good luck to Stephanie that she actually seems to enjoy the whole experience. But there are alternative explanations for absolutely everything that Stephanie's mentioned.
But it's a lovely thing to imagine, though, isn't it? The fact that we happen to have the sort of flesh aspect, there's a spiritual side to us that could travel the universe.
It's not a new claim by any means. There have been claims like this for centuries. There were claims, back in the previous centuries that people who've gone to other planets and observed things. But of course, now we've actually been there ourselves and we can see what is actually there. We know that all those claims were wrong.
So, are they with you all the time? I mean, are they here now, for example?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what is the reason for them being here? Why are they here? Why did they choose to come in today?
Because I'm here.
So they've
been coming all week.
Yeah.
Actually.
Okay.
Yeah. My grand's been sitting on the sofa over there doing her knitting. My cat grandmother.
So aliens knit?
Well, she takes on the human form. She has been in human incarnation.
Why don't they show themselves? If they're here now, and one of the greatest things, one of the greatest revelations for mankind would be one of these beings to manifest themselves right behind me now. Why don't they show themselves?
Because then they're not into showing off. They're very reserved in themselves.
Well, they have sex with you at a bus stop. That's not very reserved.
No. What I mean is they don't show themselves to the world like that. They tend to deal on a personal level with individuals because we all have guides, our own guides, and they are my guides, and so they interact with me. If you wanted to see them, they would do that through your guides. Or your guides would allow them to come through so that you can see them.
I mean, if these spirits are actually here, I mean, that would be a very easy way to test that. We could get, if we could get the spirits to go into another room just outside the studio and tell us to come back in and tell you what's in there, and then you tell us, that's it, that would shut me up. That's all it would take.
Tell them to go into my dressing room right now and tell me what's in my briefcase. Would they do that?
I don't know. I'm trying to myself to look into a briefcase myself.
What do you see?
I don't know. I just see the briefcase, but I'm not
What colour
actually.
is it?
I'm seeing a briefcase. I'm seeing it's dark in colour with a silver strip. I'm seeing a briefcase. I'm not necessarily saying it's necessarily, but I'm not actually going into the briefcase.
I let you. You're allowed. You can snoop in there. As
Yeah, I'm not actually. I don't know why. Maybe later on they will show that to me. So I'm not claiming that I can actually.
See, again, we fall at a final hurdle where proof was possible right here on the telly.
I know.
They fail once more.
I know, but I mean, I am psychic and I am mediumistic, and yet I am actually saying it doesn't always work when you want it to work.
And these
Which one's that one?
No, it's just an image of when the Greys first came to me. That was how they appeared, with the large dark
That's quite
eyes.
an established view of the way aliens have been visualised on
This is how Greys look. There are other beings that will look slightly different in colour or.
Final
It
word.
struck me when I was on Monday actually, and you were saying, why is it that they keep on abducting people and putting probes here, there, and everywhere? I mean, what they need really is a copy of Grey's Anatomy.
There you go.
I've been waiting since Monday to say that.
Well done that you finally managed to get it in.
Well
It's
done.
absolutely fascinating.
It is fascinating. Thanks for coming
Thank you
in.
very much
Thank you.
indeed. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
And good luck if you go off on your trips tonight.
Bring something back.
Yes. Yes, I want to.
And I might actually tell you what's in the briefcase later, but for some reason they're not,
Yeah.
telling me right this moment.
Well, you can forget the briefcase if you can bring me a little bit of Saturn, and that will be proof enough.
He just wants the.
No, I've got that. I want Saturn. For further information on our supernatural week or anything we've just discussed, have a look at our website.
Just come.